Today we're going to talk about the importance of abiding with Source, the importance of merging your being, merging yourself into your connection with Source. And we are going to talk about your creations, and we are going to talk about the importance of contrast within your experience and the importance of knowing how to use that contrast to create what your soul is here to create, and how contrast is a beautiful thing and resistance is a beautiful thing, and everything that arises is always for your experience so that you can abide in Source and allow that to purely express from your being and allow you to move in a way that is your greatest and highest expression. So when you begin, if you are beginning, or maybe you have already for quite some time been merging yourself within resting within Source, being with Source, truly making it your home base. This is so important because this is truly your home, your foundation for all that you will create. If you don't have a firm foundation in Source, in pure awareness, and truly resting there, everything that you create will be a house of cards. Okay, playing cards. So nothing will really stick. Nothing will really work. Everything will keep falling apart in your life. Okay? So your relationships will fall apart. Your businesses will fall apart. Everything will fall apart if the connection isn't coming from your central channel, isn't coming from your embodiment of Source energy. So the importance of you truly abiding within your temple, truly abiding within the core of your being and abiding in your light, it truly is what is rooting your light in your embodiment of who you are. Without your connection, without this stabilization within this space, you will continue to be very weak as a creator. You will not be able to truly root in your creations and create a firm foundation for yourself. So it's like a mudslide, okay? It's like your life will be a mudslide. Everything will be falling out from underneath you all the time, okay? Which is a good thing. When everything's falling away, when everything's being ripped up, okay? Right? All this like contrast is happening and this is arising for you. Take this as your opportunity. Take those experiences as your opportunity to stabilize in your light. So stabilizing in Source, abiding in your presence. This is what, when everything is being ripped away, right? When things are being ripped away, or when things aren't feeling right, you're not feeling in your flow state, okay? Because your flow state is arising from your connection with Source and you abiding in that space. So your flow is that extension of Source. So not abiding in that space, you'll notice, things falling apart. Everything in life is going to get you to come back home, to get you to come back here, to center, so that you can move in a more graceful and harmonious way in your life. So when everything is being ripped apart, or when things are falling apart, or when things aren't feeling right, and your creation of your life is not rooted in your connection with Source, and you embodying Source and allowing that to flow through you, what happens is your creations are only creations from the mind that hasn't been merged and stabilized in the heart of source. So what happens with those creations is they're not stable for you. They cannot create a base for you. So life is continuously bringing you back to come home to your center, to come home to your soul force, to come home to you. And so when contrast is appearing in your life, invite it in fully. That is your devotion. That is your dedication to your grand rising, to you rising in your soul force, you stabilizing in your light, and you being rooted in your light and in your flow. Okay, so being immersed in source it doesn't mean that contrast will not arise. Contrast will arise because it is that dance of the tension of a tension, right? It's a dance of your attention and of, think about pulling a string, a slight tension, which is actually your beam, a beam of perception, right? It's your focus. So what is happening for you when these contrasts arise, it is that string being pulled on either end. And what that is doing is your invisible thread from inside. And that invisible thread is the thread. It's asking you to follow it. Where is it asking you to follow it to? Well, it's asking you to follow it to 0 point first. To 0 point. Focus. Connection with source. So, as things fall apart, as things are dismantling, all that's dismantling is a house of false cards. That's all it is. Okay? That is a good thing. Because the truth of your being, the truth of your soul force is being lifted and raised up. If you allow this to be, it will fall off and move out of your sphere much easier if you remain within your connection to source. If you remain in basking in your presence, this is what begins to develop your field of awareness and light that's rooted within your embodiment. That's what embodiment is. Embodiment is the crystallization of source within the body. So as moving, right, when you see people, wherever you see people, they're at various stages with this, you know? And so some beings, you will see their embodied souls, you know? You can see, depends on how you view, how you see, but their soul, their presence, they have embodied soul within their bodies, so they're constantly moving in a flow state that's arising from them moving as source energy in the world. So when contrast arises for you, when these experiences are coming up that are causing these extreme polarities within your environment, within your work, within your living space, within your relationships, it's bringing this to your point of attention so that you can see, okay, this is what's occurring, and this is what is occurring, and this is not what I want. Okay, so it's asking you to do what? It's not asking you to do a mind map, to try and brainstorm or finagle your way through. Okay, it's not asking for that. When these contrasts come up, these extreme contrasts, minor contrasts, when your contrast is getting less, because contrast first is beginning like this, it's happening in extremes. okay? And then as your consciousness is becoming more refined, there's little waves that are occurring, right? And then you're making minor adjustments. And you're navigating in more subtle and more subtle and more subtle realms, okay? And so as these different experiences happen for you, you are being pointed back to connect and truly drop into source. Truly honoring that space, truly abiding in that space, and being very, very, very vigilant with your energy there. Just resting in this space. Doesn't mean you're not active. You could be very, very active. This is also a misconception that there's, right? You could be very active. Maybe you're going to be more in solitude. For everyone, it's going to be different. So you are honoring your temple. You are honoring, basking in your energy, in source energy. And when these contrasts arise for you, you are moving from that space. You are flowing from that space, moving from this space. When you find yourself on different trains of thought that are trying to pull you, okay, during these high contrast or low contrast, minor contrast experiences, whatever it is for you, you are being shown, right, what you don't want in these experiences. So you're being asked to move to a higher awareness within your life, within your experience, so that you can bloom to an even greater level, to an even greater awareness within your being. It's a beautiful thing. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. So allow yourself the true connection within your being to honor your light and connection to source above all else. This is what is creating your unfolding, your divine unfolding into a magical and a beautiful experience. This is when you can open and feel your own blooming and also see all that's coming through your experiences as a gift. It's all a gift. It's all a gift. All of your contrast is a gift. Every single thing that's ever happened is a gift. It is all a gift from the divine for your highest elevation. So, for example, there are some beings, right, that we can use different examples for this, but this is one. There could be some beings that, right, they have so much abundance and money that they can create absolutely anything on massive scales. These people, you know, I'm talking about like people with billions, billionaires. They have so much they can create with. Imagine if this billionaire, right, can create from their connection to source. Imagine how much good would bloom within this world with someone who has created billions. Wonderful. They know how to create their abundance, and that's a full bloom effect. So imagine this billionaire and their connection to source. That means they would be purely creating in this world in full connection to the truth of their being. Okay? So this person now has power on all levels of being, from the most subtle, their connection to the source, into the physical on earth. Okay? So I bring this example up because we have seen also examples of people with a tremendous amount of money that are miserable, right? And so What if that person, this billionaire or millionaire or, right, this very wealthy person was connected to source? Wow, look how much could change within that experience, within their experience and within the world. So this is only one example, but as you are stabilizing in this light as source and you're flowing from that space, it means all of your creations are pure. All of your creations are pure. So, as all of your creations are pure, flowing from this space, you are rising higher and higher and higher within your being, because naturally source is unfolding the highest spiral upward for you. So you continue on your journey, you continue on the trail, rising in your being, abiding in source, and naturally following these inspired actions. As life is presenting options, presenting contrasts, presenting choices, you are navigating according to your connection with source and allowing that flow to move you, allowing that flow to take you over, allowing that flow to navigate you. And what you will find is your mind is serving you now, serving you, has merged with your heart, okay? And you are moving forward, and you are moving forward in a miraculous way that is bringing you to great, great heights, internally and in the physical as well, both. Okay? And then eventually, as you stabilize in this light, or perhaps you are already stabilized in your light with source, either way, then you see the inner and outer are always reflecting. It's always reflective. So you are dancing, you're never negating the physical. You see the physical as spirit. That's what it is. Everything is sacred. Everything is spirit. So as you are moving and you're moving from this space and you continue honoring this space, you continue reveling in this space, you continue taking care of it. You're taking care of your temple. You're taking care of your temple. You see this as your number one priority until this becomes very natural for you and you abide here. Then you are moving from your flow. You're moving with your flow into the world, and this is guiding you on your path. This is opening up doors for you. And you're not moving with fear. You're moving freely. You're moving courageously. You're moving with joy. You're moving with your bliss. These are all indicators of your alignment with source. So the more you honor and cherish this space and become this space and embody this space, 2 crows just flew by. You honor this space and your whole world transforms into the most miraculous and delicious experience. When we were born here, when we came here, we each have many experiences that we came with before. We did not come as pure blank babies. We came as souls, and we are ever growing, ever evolving, infinitely growing. So as you tune in and truly harness your energy and your alignment with source, you will find your gifts opening, your magical gifts. You will find your intuition guiding you precisely telling you where to go, what to do, what to eat, how to move your body, right? So you're listening to all of these cues within your system. You're listening to all these cues within your system and you're following them precisely. Because remember, when you don't follow this internal guidance, this is when your whole system starts working against you, okay? When it appears the universe works against you. It's not, nothing's working against you, everything's working for you. But when you dishonor your temple, everything will appear to be dishonoring you. So the more you are in tune with your sacred vessel and honoring your connection to source, your whole life will bloom. Your whole life will bloom and only become more and more beautiful and magical as you go. So that's why this foundation of source is so very important. And it's everything. It truly is everything. Because if you are not immersed in your energy with source, you will not be able to create a life of true fulfillment. You will not be able to create a beautiful life if you are not connected to your original light. So when anything arises within your experience, when contrast arises, when a decision, to do anything, moment to moment, right? We're constantly making decisions within our life and choices. You are always choosing the highest according to your soul force. You are choosing the highest according to the voice arising within or the energy you feel arising within. So it's really tuning into the subtleties of your soul force and listening and following these promptings all the way through. This is the way that you're developing unwavering connection. You're developing an unwavering connection to yourself, within your being, within your vessel. So as you grow, as you navigate, all becomes easy, much easier. And the huge contrasts that are right? All the giant contrasts are here to wake you up to source, wake you up to home, wake you up to what is truly important, so that you as a soul can manifest your highest soul force embodiment here and your work in the world, your expression in the world, right? So life is constantly attuning, presenting opportunities, right? Your soul is creating these experiences for you. You are calling upon them. You are calling upon them. So all that is happening, you are calling upon these for your soul's growth, for your soul's evolution, for your rising. So all the tools are here. All the tools are on the table for you for how to navigate. So it is about creating the foundation of light within you, truly making this your home base, making presence your home base. And then from this space, you allow yourself to be moved from within the flow that's moving you from source. You let that flow state move you, right? Because it's all in an organic unfolding. It's an organic unfolding. And so when you're allowing that flow to move through you, you're allowing the dance to flow through you, that is an emanation of your bliss. What makes you happy? What makes you joyful? What do you enjoy doing? Following, like a child would naturally follow their bliss, right? As adults, not all adults do that, right? So as an adult, following what lights you up, following what brings you joy, following your intuition with what makes you happy, right? So that you can begin to, or continue to, dance in your joy, dance in your bliss, dance in your abundance that is ever present, allowing that to flower, allowing that to bloom. And when contrast arises, yes, let it arise. It's exciting. Let it arise. It's showing you something higher, something greater, a new discovery. Be curious. Be excited. Let all of the energies guide you. Let them guide you. But you remain. You remain here. You remain in your presence. You remain in your true joy and bliss, in your happiness. And you are guided from this space through everything. If this is a space of no fear. Okay, so fear arises, right? Contrast. What do? Fear arises. All right? You remain as a neutral observer of that. See it arise within your space. Big deal. Let it move out. If you need to feel it, if you need to cry, whatever it is, have at it. Let it rip. Cry then. Let the energies flow. Let them move through you. Move your body. Move your body. The body is the last space that the old energies are moving through you. So moving your body, drinking water, like all of these things. So it is creating what you're doing when you're abiding in your light, when you're abiding in presence. You are abiding in your core. You're abiding in your core. And what you're doing in that space is it burns up all unnecessary mind patterns or old patterns or whatever it is, so you can rest and be and move and dance and play and enjoy and discover and create and be the powerful magician of your own life. So Source truly is the home base for us all. It is the home base to move from, to live from, and more it becomes more natural, where you're moving from that space, you're being, you're moving, you're doing your things, whatever it is you guys are doing, okay? But guess what? In that space, you will be guided to your highest unfolding and callings. As long as you are listening to your intuition and making consistent actions toward that, you're always being led on the path. So you're opening and opening and opening and opening to that. You're unfolding upon yourself. Every day, every moment, opening, blooming. So when these different contrasts, when these fears or different things arise, you see them. All right? Okay? You're giving less and less and less and less and less attention to them. And you're starting to see them. You're exposing them for what they really are. You're exposing the illusions for what they really are. You're unveiling it all. You're unveiling your majesty, unveiling your majesty, unveiling the truth of the beauty of existence. Dancing in the garden, dancing in the blooming garden. So, remain in your truth, remain in your connection to Source. Expose the illusions of fear. Remain in the center and move forward freely. In your joy, in your bliss, in your abundance, in your ecstasy, in all of the beauty that is here. Dance in it, revel in it, love this space. And magic is going to bloom within your experience. Okay, beautiful beings, have an amazing day.